Can you hear me? Um, can how does it work? I don't know how it works, Discord. You hear the simulator. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Just say yes or no. Okay, how did I get this to work? I think I did stream or something. Stream. Okay, current views. Let's see. Current views. Pen Studio. Okay, I see Mattia, I see Ozzy. Okay. The interesting thing is what I see on the studio, the YouTube studio, is not exactly what I see on my screen. So I don't know if there is a delay or what. Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay, but I cannot hear you. And if you text, if I put on the virtual reality, I will not see the text. Okay, and that's why I wanted to hear you guys from Discord. Ok, there is a delay. C'è Ozzy e...
Ciao, che bel microfono.
Ok, c'è qui la mamma che dice buonanotte.
Dicevo solo ciao, vi lascio fare.
Ok, just can you put in the text if I can start? You want to put in the text if I can start? I just want to make sure you hear me. Okay, there is a delay for sure. Okay. So the yeah, it's a how much delay? Let me check. Wow, there is like 20 seconds delay. So my concern is if I speak, I don't know if also my speech has a delay of 20 seconds or not. So what I would like to do, since I know that the image has 20 seconds delay, when I say go, can you type when I say go, can you type go? So then I see how long it takes. Turn the delay off. How do I turn it off? Is there a delay? No. Where? How do I turn the delay off? Let me see. Use overlay. I have no idea that we don't need a delay. Delay, channel level settings. No, this is overlay, is not a delay. I don't know how to turn off the delay. How do I turn off a delay? Okay, so that took like, there is a 20-second delay. Can you guys tell me how do I turn off a delay, if you know? I don't want to, let me see, maybe it's in the file, settings, stream. Output. Okay. Okay, so there is I think there is a 20-second delay also in the voice. So you see the video and you hear the voice at the same time. And I will need to check how to turn off the delay. Okay. All right. So let's start so I don't waste anybody's time. So we're going to do a flight from Lisbon to Madeira. That's a choice that Ozzy did. It may take about an hour, the flight, so you have to enjoy the flight. But it takes about 30 minutes to prepare the flight. So let's start with the preparation of the flight. What I'm doing, and right now I'm not on VR. Eventually I would like to change to VR, particularly during the landing part, because it's very difficult to land without VR, right? Or just looking at the screen. So the program I use are different ones to plan the flight. The first thing I do is I use Navigraph, which I'm going to share in a second. This is actually a subscription service which I pay. It's about $100 a year, and the advantage of this program is that it has all the charts of every airport, every procedures around the world, and you will see what I mean afterwards. So let's start with setting up a flight. So let's go to Lisbon. So Madeira, I think it's one of these. We'll find out afterwards. So we're gonna leave from Porto. Porto is the biggest, most important airport in Portugal. So I just want to make sure that. Okay, let me find it. So we're gonna plan a new flight, and we're gonna look for the airport. Porto. Actually, this is Oporto, Porto in Portugal. There it is. This should be the main airport. So let's take a look at it. This is the one, Porto. It's it's a big airport. It has only one runway. It's not it's not a big airport, but has a lot of ramps and gates, as you can see. So we're gonna place the aircraft here. In the meantime, let's add this one to the route, and then we're gonna plan the route afterwards. So the destination, we're gonna look for Madeira. Let me see if I can find Madeira, Portugal. So let's take a look. This is where Ozzy would like to go. It is a small airport, and is 9,100 feet length, which is substantial. I mean, it's usually about 12,000 feet. Yesterday I was landing at 7,000 500 feet, and then my, I don't know, my computer froze for some reason. They have a hard time managing the night. So anyway, this is the destination airport. We're gonna add it to the route as destination. All right, so the code, you guys are freight forwarders, at least a couple of you are freight forwarders, so you're used to a 3-letter code, Oporto, FNC, but in aeronautic, in aviation, has a 4-letter code, and actually the first letter identifies the country. So for example, the USA is K. LPPR is Oporto, LPMA is Madeira. So now what we need to do, and then we have to do it on another program, which is the official one that everybody uses. We need to find out from which runway we will start. So there is this runway, 17 is actually the departure runway. The 35 is not in use. So for the people that don't know, every time you see an airport and you see the big numbers on the tarmac, that is the runway number, and the runway actually indicates the direction of the runway. 35, for example, is 350. So 360 or 0 is north. So 350 is northwest, right? So 17 means 170. So 180, 18 is 180 south. So this is, the south, southeast. So we are going to use the 17 because the other one is not in use. It's possible. By the way, these programs work real time, and they get real live information from everywhere around the world from that the pilots use. So we are going to use this as the runway of departure, right? So now we selected the runway, which is the 17, and we can scroll closer, and you can see now the 17 here, right? You can see the number 17. If you're on the phone, you may not see it, but yeah, you can see the number 17 here, 17. You'll see big when we actually fly. And then we need to set the departure. The departure is once you take off, we know the one that we take off. Then the departure is the one that leads from the airport out of the area of the airport, right? So basically consider that the skies are all organized in highways or local roads, or major or smaller, but every aircraft is following a very specific route. So we are going to look at the departure, and this one gets a little bit more complex. You will see, okay, these are the departures. So what happened is this is our route, right? So we need to look at the departure that makes more sense. The one that makes more sense to me is this one, right? So this one is bringing us, this one can also be one as well. It's bringing us south. Maybe we use one of these. Let's say we're gonna use this one, Manik. Okay, so Manik. So you can see we're gonna take off, and then we are gonna go to Manik, and then the route will continue from here. We'll switch. This direct route will switch to here. So add. All right. So now we have the runway, we have the departure. Now what we need to do, we need to do the arrival and in Madeira. So here, let's look at the runways. So we have the runway 5. Runway 5 is actually not really convenient for us because I would have liked to arrive and land, but this one is, as you can see, is runway 23. So we would need to go around. That's what Ozzy actually liked. We would need to go around and then land from here. And this is most likely due to the wind, right? So you always depart and land against the wind. So let's use runway 5. All right, it's selected. Now we need to do the approach. So this is the phase where we set the aircraft for landing. And this is where we pick, hopefully they have an instrumentation landing system for landing. It looks like this is all VFR. So, but let's see, maybe we have well, they have RNAV approaches, which is good. Okay, then this is the one that makes more sense. So we're gonna arrive here, and then we start descending. We align with the runway with RNAV, and then we land. The other option, so this one will have a big curve. This one, that means we will go more south, and then we come back here. This is probably the challenging one that okay, let's do this one that Ozzy was probably mentioned. Okay, let's let that one. Okay, and so you can see we arrive here, then we land, and in case of missed approach, let's say we something is happening, we can't land, this is the direction of the missed approach. This is where we would circle and wait for the air traffic control to give us more instructions. So now we have to select the arrival. There are 11 arrivals. So the arrivals is the part before the approach. So I would say the one that brings us to the right direction, probably I would use, this one. Let's see. Okay, add. Okay, so now we have the route ready, but we'll have to do it again with SimBrief. So here you can see the full route. You have, so you take off, this is the departure, then follows the route. At one point we are at the arrival, and then we will do the approach and the landing. We will use the regular time for the moment, so that the weather that is right now. However, the weather we have right now is actually night, and I don't want the simulator to freeze me because of the lights. I don't know what happened yesterday, so I'm gonna change to daytime, also because you can see something, except for the fact that all right, so I'm gonna move this, and now I need the SimBrief. Okay, this is SimBrief. This is every person that used the flight simulator properly around the world, and there are about 1 million people at any point in time playing this game globally. And by the way, when you fly, they can see your aircraft, you can see their aircraft. So you will see when we are at the airport, aircrafts moving there are actually other people playing, and usually they like to fly big aircrafts. I used to know how to fly one of those. I have to go back and do the training again, so for the moment I use a business jet. But anyway, here we have to recreate the route. No, I don't need the account, by the way. What am I doing? So dispatch. Okay, these are previous route I did. So we're gonna do a new flight. We're gonna try to recreate the flight that we had before. So first of all, we depart from LPPR, which is Porto, and Madeira is LPMA. So the aircraft we use, there are many aircraft here I can pick from, large, small, and so on. these are the ones this is actually the one I mostly use. So the Phenom 300. This is an Embraer. Embraer is a very famous manufacturer of business jets. It's actually a Brazilian company. This is the very popular, a beautiful aircraft with, I think it's 10 seats, you'll see. This is the Phenom 300. Okay. So they are proposing a route. Usually doesn't give me the arrival and yeah, it doesn't give me the arrival as well as the approach. So I'm going to, first of all, he gave me the 17 and he gave me the 5. As you can see, same as the other program, because most likely the weather and so on. Then I need to change the time, and I'm gonna use yesterday, and I'm gonna use like I don't know, 8 o'clock in the morning. 8:30 in the morning. Apply. Right, yes, your departures changed by more than 2 hours. We would like to automatically select new runways and alternative. Let's see if it's changing the runways. No, they kept the same, which is good. Yeah, I had to change, I have to tell them what time I wanted to leave. And so I changed to the morning, and was actually a Saturday. And the reason is that the air traffic control will check the weather, and they may have changed, they could change the runway. So obviously it did not impact the runway. The scheduled time is 2 hours and 40 minutes. This is a long time. Sorry, guys. It's a long flight. But anyway, at least you can see the beginning, and then you can go to bed, or you can stay up with me. So the other thing I wanted to do, this is the route, these are the codes. These are all basically waypoints. These are, all these dots here are waypoints, and this is what the aircrafts do when they follow a route and they get to destination. So they know exactly where they are, the distance, and you will see the instrumentation. But I want to make sure that I already set here the approach, if it's possible. So our approach that we picked before, I'm sorry, I'm checking it, is the LIDR1P, and oh, hold on 1 second, sorry. Pronto? Ciao Topolino. What? Oh, you're on. Oh, you're on as well. Yeah, but the problem is that there's a lot of work here. Okay, let's see the chats. Who is on? Is that 2 hours? Ciao. Okay. Doesn't answer a massive rip. Call that and tell him. I can't believe the streamer doesn't read chat. Well, private jets. Okay, I'll try to read the chats. To rewrite any important questions. Well, yeah, that's right. It's a lot of work, so it's not. I mean, I'm preparing a flight, so that's the problem, right? So, but you can chat among each other. Okay. So let's look at the arrival. Need to open RNAV runway 5. Okay, so is LIDR1P Lidro, LIDR1. Okay, this is what we had on the other program. Let's see, on the departure side, we had, and by the way, The problem is that I have the other program open on the other screen, and I have two screens. So, and the chats are behind this. So I'll try to follow, but I need to prepare the flight first. And this is Mani 6S Manik. Okay, Mani 6S Manik. 6S Manik. Okay, so this is the route. You can see here we set up the arrival, but there is no, we eventually we have to put down the approach. Okay, so now we ask SimBrief to generate the flight. Okay, we have to moderate. Top right banner. Top right banner, okay. Okay, we generated the flight. So it's interesting, right? So these are, you know, the flight number, the call sign, departure, arrival, the alternate airport. Every time you fly, they will always give an alternate airport in case something happened to the arrival airport, right? A lot of people don't do this, and that when becomes a big problem. This is the airframe. You'll hear this name afterwards. We are going to be flying at 41,000 feet, which is usually, this is about 11,000 feet more than what we normally fly on normal aircraft. But this business jet is pretty cool. So we're going to fly 675 nautical miles. Average wind, it's 23 knots. This is the direction of the wind. The wind component. This one really goes into the details. Let me see. It gives me 8 passengers. I don't even know if I can carry all these passengers. We're gonna burn 829. I'm sorry. We are gonna burn about 1.6 tons of fuel. So that's about 3,000 pounds of fuel we're gonna burn. And 96 kilograms of baggage. Payload is 131, and so on. This is a complete route. This is, you can put this one into another program. This is all the route itself. And to give an idea, every time somebody flies has an official document. So we're going to generate, and this is the PDF. This documents, it represents the whole flight. So you can see it gives you departure, arrival, payloads, how much fuel we need for at what point during the flight, how much fuel we have to have left, and so on. So it's a very long document, which provides also at the end some graphics about wind. And I have to be honest with you, I'm able to read some of this information, some others I have to learn. But anyway, you can see the graphic. This is the route. Then it's going to give you the wind. This is wind information. Yeah, so this is the wind, the impact. You know, this is the time of the top of cruise, and then this is when we're going to go down, and the documents is finished. So anyway, let's go back. Now we are going to just send this one. No, we're not going to move it to the other one. We just leave it like this. So we're going to go back to the simulator finally, and you're going to hear the aircraft noise. And let's see if there is any text. Aer Lingus says nothing over this. Aer Lingus? Chat are the passengers. I think we can all fit, yes. Okay, free flight. So we're going to use the free flight option. And the LPPR. So we're going to start with LPPR. We have to set the aircraft. LPPR. Okay. This is Porto. Right, so runway 17, but we're not going to leave from the runway. So we are going to choose where we park the aircraft, and we don't want to park it too far, but unfortunately, we have to taxi quite a bit. So we're gonna taxi here. So let's see. This is the taxiway. Let's park. There is somebody that is flying their simulator. See, he's just arrived. So I'm gonna park. I'm gonna park next to him. Set as departure. Okay. The other thing I want to do is change the weather. I'm gonna use the live weather, but not of today. So I'm going to go back to 8:30 in the morning. About 8:30 in the morning. 8:30. Okay, in the morning. That will be the real weather, 8:30 in the morning in that position, right? Save. Okay, looks like it's cloudy. You can see, yeah, there are some clouds around. So now we can, at this point, start the flight. So it's gonna prepare the simulator. Yeah, there is an ATC and it's AR. No, it's not a person. There are other. There is the possibility to have a live ATC. There are programs which are actually very, very good. This is just the simulator. So you can see this is the guy that just arrived, by the way. So let's start. Okay, here we are positioned. So let me close this for a second. Right, so this is, I'm gonna go back. Right, this is our aircraft. This is the Embraer Phenom 300E. So we have a few things to remove. First, you can see the pitot. So to explain, this is the pitot. So this is covered because this is very important. When this is removed, there is a little hole, brings air inside here, and is able to measure the speed of the aircraft. If you don't know the speed of your aircraft, is a big issue, right? So the computer obviously needs that too. We have to remove this pin. There are some altitude sensor or pressure sensor on the other side. We need to remove the engine covers, but we can all do this from inside. Right, in the meantime, you can see, you know, and this one was the guy that was flying before. So let's go inside. Now, if you get a chance to see a YouTube video with a real Phenom 300, you'll be surprised how precise and exactly is the exact copy of this. Is amazing how good they did it. So anyway, we need to start the aircraft. First of all, this is our tablet. We need to check that the aircraft is all okay. We have no problems. I did some maintenance last time. So the oil, we're gonna top up the oil here. Everything else is good. Okay. This has to be done before we depart. So we're gonna top up the oil here as well. I had once I forgot to do the maintenance or to check, and I had to suddenly, even before departure, I had to basically stop the flight. So all right, health 77%. Let's replace this. Okay, let's replace all of them. Doesn't cost me anything. Okay, so what we need to do now, the aircraft is empty, as you can see, and you can actually see it from here. I'm not virtual reality yet, so this is the co-pilot who's gonna be sitting here, and the passengers, they're gonna be sitting there, right? So you can go through the aircraft. They have a restroom. That's correct. Yeah, there was a crash. So this is the restroom. I don't know. This one doesn't work, I think. But this one works. I have to turn on the batteries. It's not on. So anyway, so that's how. This is exactly a copy of the Phenom 300E. And everyone has, you know, they have their tables where they can eat. You know, the table comes out, right? So they have their entertainment system as well. You can see from here, if I can get closer enough. Okay, let's see. Maybe it's the other side. I don't know if I'm clicking the wrong side or not. Anyway, or maybe I have to click on this side. Or maybe because the aircraft is not on. Anyway, let's go back to, yeah, they have little drawers here. You can, you know, where they put stuff inside. So let's go back to our cabin because we need to initiate the aircraft. So first thing, what we need to do is we turn on the entertainment system here. Now we need to remove the covers outside, put security cones, a red carpet, you know, this is a business jet. The GPU, which is the ground power unit, this is necessary in order to start the aircraft. We're gonna open the cargo door and also the front cargo door. For the moment, we leave it like this. We're not gonna call the passengers yet. We turn on the batteries and we're gonna connect with the GPU. Then this is for the air. These are the pumps, engine pumps. We're gonna put them on auto. Seat belt, we can put it on so when they come, the passengers, they put the seat belt on. We're gonna push. We're gonna heat the windshield because we're gonna fly very high. The engine, not yet. We don't need it. In the meantime, this is the secondary display. This is the main display. This is the co-pilot display on the right side. This is, we're gonna put the pressurization on auto. We're gonna fly at 41,000 feet. And remember, when you fly over 18,000 feet, actually I think it's 15,000 feet, you're gonna have a problem to breathe, right? There is not enough oxygen. And there was one case where a business jet, as a matter of fact, they lost the pressurization, so they all lost consciousness, including the pilot, and the aircraft continued to fly until they had no more fuel and then crashed. So yeah, so let's continue here. Pressurization. Now, one important thing, we need to keep the passenger happy, so let's make sure that we warm up the cabin before they arrive. At least, I mean, the doors are open, but at least I don't forget. So the other thing is, let's go here. Let me do something else, sorry. This one is too, okay. So let's move it to the other display. We need to do a checklist. We're gonna do a checklist after start. I don't need the one for start. On the right side here, yeah, we're just gonna leave it like this. And at this point, we're gonna call the passengers. So we can call them, or we do an instant load. Sometimes actually what I need to do is to load the route, so I have to go here and load the route. The sound you're hearing, the error is because I'm draining the batteries, but I'm connected to the GPU, so it's not an issue. Let's see if the passengers are showing up. Otherwise I will do it when I prepare the route. Sometimes they don't show up, they're not up yet. So let me go back here, and what I'm going to do, I'm gonna do the initialization of the aircraft. We start with a voice recorder. Okay, voice recorder test. So we have to test. We wouldn't be able to start the aircraft without going through this procedure. Okay, this is the terrain warning system. When you are too close to the terrain, you will hear like a warning telling you you are too close to the terrain, and that's obviously to make sure that you don't crash, right?
Okay.
This is traffic, also monitors the traffic. It tells you if there is a conflict with another aircraft, and then will tell you whether you should, increase your altitude or decrease. This data is necessary for setting up the speed of takeoff. I didn't do it correctly. Still sending data accepted. Okay, so now we are at the route. The route is giving me the departure. Is giving me, let me check and make sure that is the one I had. So the arrival, LDR1P, yes, lead row, yes. So I have the same arrival there. What I'm looking at this, right? So this is the same arrival, which is basically this part here before the approach. Okay, but now I want to do the approach. The approach which I choose. So first of all is the runway 5. They may decide to change when we get there, so we'll see. I have Arnav Z05. Okay, and yes, the transition is PILIM, and we're gonna load this. Okay. So now we have the route, and then eventually the ATC is going to tell us also at what altitude we need to fly, but we know it's probably going to be about 41,000 feet. This is our complete route. You can see from here, right? So that means we're going to take off 3,000 feet here. At this waypoint should be 4,000. Here is 10,000. We also can look at the map. We have a departure map, so we can take a look at the map as well. So we are good with the route. Now the FMS, this is a flight management system, is the computer basically. We're going to use the FMS to follow the route. Aircraft loading. So I'm going to load. No, the route is already in. So I'm going to import. Let me see if yes, it puts passengers, but I don't see the passengers inside. Oh yeah, where is the copilot? They didn't give me the copilot. That's fine. So passengers, I'm gonna change the weight here. I think they doubled the weight. I don't need this weight. It's a lot of passengers, by the way. It's gonna carry a lot of people. I hope we have enough fuel for this. I hope. Then fuel Fuel reserve is 450 pounds. We're gonna carry 3,632 pounds of fuel. We're gonna synchronize. Now this is the load balance of the aircraft. So this bar here needs to be within this shape. That means it's balanced. If this one is out and show yellow, that means the aircraft is unbalanced. So we either remove something or we switch position. Otherwise, the aircraft will have a problem to take off or even to be stable during the flight. So here we can see already our route, and we're just gonna go and at this point, since we already have the passengers, we are going to close the aircraft. And both cargo doors. We have this fuel. We can remove the red carpet. We're gonna start the engine now. So now we can see here the engine is firing up. We will need N1 to be at about 25. In the meantime, you can see the N2, the oil pressure, the temperature, and all the other information. This is how the fuel is inside the aircraft, right wing and left wing. Total 3,630 pounds. Here we have the cabin pressurization information. Here we have the batteries, and then eventually we have to do something about the pitch and the flaps. So this is stable, 24.7. At this point, what we need to do, we are gonna remove the GPU. We don't need the GPU, the ground power unit anymore. And we need to go back and start the second engine, the engine on the left. We started on the right because the GPU was on the left. So now we remove the GPU, so there is no person under the aircraft, only at the engine. We started. So this one, as you can see, went up to 44.9 because it's using some power to start the engine, the second engine number 1. So this one will stabilize. They will both basically align, and the engines are performing well. So what we need to do now is we go and look at security. Okay, so this is the after start. So the GPU is disconnected. We need to test the battery, emergency battery. So we need this one to be over, it's over 23.5. So this is good. We go back. They are over 23.5. And we go back to the, so we tested the batteries. We need to do some testing now for the fire. So let's go here. You can see the alarm here. Okay. What we're gonna do the stall as well. Let me do this. Yeah. So to measure the stall, I need to remove this, otherwise you can't see. Okay. This alarm is regarding ice. You can see from here. Right. Okay, so this is done. We need to start turning on some lights. Strobe is on. Inspection. This one here. This is the light in the cabin. Emergency light. Taxi. We can already turn it on. That's fine. Let's continue with this. So this is done. We have done all this. Yeah, I'm not actually controlling the right one. Okay. So the transponder is, for the moment, is a temporary one. This is the transponder 7000. The transponder is basically how they recognize the aircraft in the air, right? So it's called also squawk. The altimeter, we need to set the altimeter. We're gonna check now. Actually, what we need to do is to finalize a couple of things before we continue. Okay. So we did the fuel. Okay. And let's continue with the initialization. So the takeoff data. So the weather. We're gonna load the weather meter, so we can. This is what the pilots read in order to find out the weather, right? So, and actually, I had to learn this when I did my test for to fly drones professionally. I had to basically take an FAA test. So anyway, so we know condition is dry, 351 degrees, 3 knots is the wind, 20 degrees temperature is outside. Barometric pressure is very important because this one will set your altitude. So 29.91. The runway is going to be the runway 17. The runway is 11,419 feet long. It's 188 feet elevation. This is direction, 170 degrees. You remember 17. Takeoff configuration, we're going to have the flaps 1 and we're going to trim the aircraft, and we have the rotation is going to be at 105. The trim is supposed to be at 8.7. Usually when I trim using these guidelines, the aircraft pitches too high. So, and I'm really concerned about this weight. I don't know why they put all these passengers, but anyway. So at this point, the landing, we're gonna set the landing afterwards so we can accept the initialization of the aircraft. The next thing is we need to continue with the checklist. Let's go to the next checklist before takeoff. So it's takeoff configuration is done, cast messages, there is only bleed 1 which will disappear. Fasten seat belt. I'm actually going to remove it. I'm sure the passengers are complaining they need to go to the restroom. Let's see what the passengers are saying. They are all happy. So who do we have? An executive, jet lagged, nervous flyer. I don't see any VIP, but it's full. It's really full. So let's welcome them. Temperature is 24 inside the cabin. Then I give them some coffee, snack before departure. But what we need to do, we need to reduce the temperature because it's 24 degrees, it's a little high. Let's go back to the checklist. Transponder, so yaw damper is off. We don't have an auto throttle. Transponder is set. TCAS, we have passenger, we advised. The lights are on. Let's go to the next checklist. So the next checklist is before takeoff. No, before takeoff we just did this. Yes. Okay. So let's leave the checklist here for after takeoff. This panel here, we're gonna keep the route. And maybe I'll just gonna make it, it's a route, you can see the route, right? So I'm just gonna leave it this way. And here, this panel here, we're gonna look at the charts. And I told you that the Navigraph have all these charts. So this is the airport chart. This is actually how it really looks like in real life. That's the chart. And so we are here. We most likely will be given the route to go to the departure, the taxiing E1, E2, E3, E4, and probably they're gonna let us go into E5. Let's check because it's longer than that. Sorry, sometimes I have to. Yeah, E5, because we can't, I mean, I don't see the taxiway arriving here, so most likely we have to go into this direction. Okay, so that's fine. At this point, what we need to do, we need to talk to air traffic control. So I'm gonna set on this. Let's see, left and right. Of course, you can have a view outside. And we're gonna call air traffic control, and we need an IFR clearance, which is Instrument Flight Rule.
E55P November 65, 9016 IFR to Madeira. Ready to copy.
E55P November 65, 9016 is cleared to Madeira Airport via the ASMO2 Romeo departure, runway 17. Climb via SID, maintain 10,000, expect flight level 42010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 119.55, squawk 061
Cleared to Madeira via the ASMO2 Romeo departure, runway 17. Climb via SID, maintain 10,000, expect flight level 42010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 119.55, squawk 061
I see one of the texts, they want to see the passengers. Okay, let's look at the passengers.
E55P 9016, readback is correct. Contact ground on 118.855 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Some of them, they look the same. I think to just replicate, but these are the passengers. And you can, you know, clean and, but I'm gonna clean it now, so.
E55P November 65916, taxi to and hold short of runway 17 via taxiway Sierra 6 Echo 1 Echo 2 Echo 3 Echo 4 Echo 5. Contact tower on 118.005.
Okay, this is, as I mentioned before, the taxiway. You can see E1, E2, E3, E4, and we're gonna go into E5.
Via taxiway Sierra 6 Echo 1 Echo 2 Echo 3 Echo 4 Echo 5. E55P 9016.
Okay. So we just have to, they are fine. Let's clean the cabin. Gonna give some brief information. The seat belt is on. Okay. Let me go. This one is set to be in the back, so let's do here. Okay. I have to position myself so I can see. Okay, so we have clearance for the IFR. Now we obviously are gonna use this one. I'm gonna have a map on the right side because let's see here. So what I can see on the right side, which I normally don't use because I have the virtual reality right now. I don't have virtual reality. I can see my aircraft where it's positioned with this arrow, so I can actually follow, make sure that I am on the right track. I can tell you it's more difficult to do it this one on the computer than in real life. So anyway, we don't have anybody on the right. What we need to do, we are going to remove the parking brake. I have some controls which are physical, so I don't do it from there, I do it from here. Okay, so we're gonna taxi. They gave us the okay to taxi, so we are going to taxi. I'm using, I have at home, Matteo of course knows, I do have quite a lot of physical instruments which I'm using. As you can see, I'm not doing on the screen because I even have the paddles as well. So as a matter of fact, the aircraft, I can turn the aircraft with the paddles. That's how you turn it on the ground, right? And that the same pedals use the rudder in the back. So here, for example, you can see the rudder, right? So
Portal ground, Air Portugal 1921, requesting pushback.
Air Portugal 1921, pushback request accepted.
Portugal 1921, requesting the end of pushback.
Air Portugal 1921, request to end pushback received.
Portal ground, Air Portugal 1921 with Whiskey, ready to taxi IFR.
Air Portugal 1921,
so this is
taxi to
E3.
short of runway 17 using taxiway Sierra Tree Sierra 4 Sierra 6 Echo 1 Echo 2 Echo 3 Echo 4 Echo 5. Contact tower on 118.005 when ready.
Taxi to and hold hold short runway 17 via taxiway Sierra Tree Sierra 4 Sierra 6 Echo 1 Echo 2 Echo Tree Echo 4 Echo 5. Air Portugal 1 enter 21.
Okay, we are almost at Echo 5. This is Echo 4. Okay, you can see here runway 17, 35, 17. So we obviously are 17. We
Photo Tower, E55P November 659.
We're asking for,
runway 17 ready for departure. IFR to Madeira.
yeah, we just asked for the IFR,
E55P November 65916.
clear for takeoff.
1014. Cleared for takeoff runway 17.
Cleared for takeoff runway 17. E55P November 65916.
Okay, I'm setting up, you can see here I need to put 10,000 feet. That will be the first target altitude. I'm using the physical controls. The other thing we need to do is here we're going to use the flight level change, which is basically the autopilot will help us ascend, increase the altitude, maintaining a balanced position. And nav is the navigation, but the autopilot is not on. So these are on. You can see here, flight level change. FMS is the nav. This is a flight management system, but the autopilot is not on. When it's on, it's like this. You can see, right? So autopilot is off. Okay, so we have clearance. So we're gonna move to takeoff position. To be honest with you, we would need to go right, turn around. This is not the beginning of the runway. We will need to turn around over there.
1782. Turn next taxiway.
Okay, you can see the number 17 in reverse, of course. So we're going to turn around here.
Lufthansa 1782. Exit runway when able.
Here we go. Okay. So what we did not do yet, couple of things.
Lufthansa 1782.
We need to trim the aircraft.
Lufthansa 1782. Contact ground on 118.855.
Okay, aircraft is trimmed. We need to move the flaps to level 1. We need to check and make sure the configuration is okay.
Lufthansa 1782.
Takeoff, okay, good. So we are all set. We can take off. Now I'm gonna do the takeoff not on VR, although I prefer VR, but we have everything in order. One more thing. This one, I need the weather map, and I need a map on the left. So, okay, we can start. Much easier on VR, I can tell you that. So takeoff speed is 109. Landing gear up. Flaps up. We are still manual. Autopilot on. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Okay, so we are at 10,000 feet. Our target is 10,000 feet. We are 3,500 feet. We are tuning now to Lisbon. They're going to give us instructions.
55P November 65916 is passing 3,800, climbing 10,000.
55P November 65916, Lisbon Center, QNH 1014, radar contact, continue to Zabo.
Okay, they didn't give us the 42,000 feet altitude yet. So we have to watch the speed. Under 10,000 feet we cannot go over 250 knots. One thing we forgot is we forgot to put the lights. I mean, we have the taxi lights, which is okay, but we need the proper lights.
Climb and maintain flight level 420.
Okay, they gave us now 42,000 feet altitude, so
Maintain flight level 420, E55P 9016.
gonna increase the altitude. You see the speed is increasing because I need to do the flight level change. Flight level change. Okay, it's going up. Yes. So we have to set now the altitude to 42,000 feet. The speed is decreasing fast because of the speed of ascending, but it's gonna regulate the. Yeah, 30, 31, 32. In the meantime, the flight management system is taking care of the route. 41, 42,000 feet. Okay. Now we are over 15,000 feet. We need to turn off the lights. This one we don't need anymore. We can turn off seat belt. Let's look at the passengers. They are all, I don't know, they're not happy anymore. I guess they are hungry, they're tired. We took a little bit, but let's give them coffee. They're gonna be okay. They're gonna sleep and they're gonna feel better. Probably also because the temperature is too high, so let's reduce the temperature a little bit. Not sure why it's so high. Okay, so now what we need to do is the altimeter. So what happened is in every airport you have a different pressure, right? So also depending on the weather, the basic pressure at sea level with good weather is 2992, right? Square inches. When and every airport has different pressure and so on. However, over 18,000 feet, all the aircraft have to have the same parameters. Otherwise, they fly at different altitudes and they don't even know. So the parameter is sea level, good weather. So it's 2992. So that means that the barometric pressure here on the left now has to be set to standard. And this is standard is for all the aircraft after 18,000 feet. And you have to do them also on the co-pilot's side as well. And also here. And the reason why you have this one is because this is the glass cockpit, right? These instruments here. Very modern is the Garmin 3000, right? So it's very modern and so on. However, there is always a possibility, very remote possibility, that you have some issues, electrical and so on, right? So at this point you have to rely to those basic instruments, right? That in case electricity is not, and this is the one, right? This one is basically the one that gives us the flight altitude. So it gives us the altitude, but also gives us the horizons, it gives us the speed and so on, right? So the direction. So, you know, in case everything falls, then we have to use this one for flying. Yeah, those are basic ones. Otherwise, you'll be completely lost. You can imagine, you're gonna lose yourself. So now we are at 25,000 feet. You can see here now. So this is when it's purple, the flight management system is now managing the flight. We are at 223 knots. The true airspeed is 334 knots, and the ground speed is 341 knots. Temperature is minus 31 degrees outside. Here is what we are doing with the route. So you can see we are going from PR633 to ASMOV, and we are 8.7 nautical miles, and our course is 260 degrees, the course. So the reason why the aircraft is showing, for example, you would think this is supposed to go straight, right? So if we go 260, then you should go 260, but the aircraft corrects because of the wind. You can see here the wind. We have winds that are pushing at 4 degrees at 35 knots, which is quite a lot. So what happened, the aircraft, when there is wind, it never really flies straight, always flies against the wind to basically maintain the same position. You can see from the outside, we are in the back of the aircraft. You can see the aircraft is pointing on the right side, is not pointing straight, right? So I'm gonna go back. You can see it's pointing to the right side. Now it's turning, so obviously it's gonna adjust. So and in extreme cases, you'll be surprised how much angle the aircraft has. So it's almost like the aircraft is flying sideways in the direction where it's supposed to go, fighting the wind, right? So you go against the wind, so otherwise the wind is going to push you to the left or to the right, you're going to be off course. You can't do that, right? So now the interesting thing is these graphs are done so well that you can see the passengers inside. For example, you can see the guy here, person here. These two have closed their blinds. The pilot is here. There's no co-pilot, as you can see, And if you look from the back, you can see your own instruments, right? You can see the instruments here, believe it or not. You know, it's like they are done so well. Anyway, so this is the flight. So if we look at the route, by the way, let's see. Where is the toilet is clogged. Pilot, please. Okay. Anybody has any question? My calculus, everyone is out. Oh God, we are already forgetting this. Our system on our leaving Earth. Yeah, if you have any questions, now I have a little bit of time. We are over. I'm just waiting that we reach the altitude, but I wanted to show you how the route looks like, and maybe some of you are experts on this. So I'm gonna use this one here. Gonna make it full, and okay, let's take a look at this. Right, so we are Asimov. We are going towards Dirma, right? Actually, we are already close to Dirma. You can see here we are on Dirma. The next waypoint, we don't see it. Let's see if we can see the next waypoint. This next waypoint we don't see, it is quite distant. So from Dirma to Tunav is 122 miles, nautical miles. Let's see, there it is, right? So when we get to here, TOD, that's the point of descent, top of descent. So we have to go to Tunav, then Veram, Telmo. But at the same time, it was at a certain point we need to start preparing for the descent, right? So when we look at the flight plan, we are now at going to Tunav, and our altitude is FL, flight level 420. So flight level 420 means 42,000 feet. That's how it works. So 42,000 feet. And when we got to Vera, is also 42,000 feet. Telmo, do you prefer takeoff or landing? So I like landing. It's more complex. It's fun, and it's more interesting to do the landing. Takeoff is also very interesting too, but the risk is always on the landing side. Please turn and look around the cockpit and outside for the view. Please turn and look around the cockpit. Okay. Yeah, let me show you the cockpit a little bit, but let's finish the and you can and yes please. Yes, view please. Okay. Let me finish the route so you can see here 42,000 feet. Now when we are at the arrival here, the air traffic control should ask us to decrease to 26,600 feet, down to 13,000 feet, 4,000 feet. Approach starts. So, and at 2,000 feet, as you can see here, the RNAV, that's when we will start engaging the, it's almost like the instrumentation landing system, right? It's not the ILS, it's called RNAV. And we will land here at runway 5. So in order to engage this part, we are going to use the VNAV. Now I am not gonna set the VNAV yet because when I try to set these targets, the air traffic control may decide to change. So the view of the aircraft, okay, this is how the cockpit, I can't go further because, so on top you have all the controls, the lights and so on. This is the air, this is a compass. Here you have, sorry, so here on top you have all the the controls for the autopilot. You know, this is the flight director, this is the course, this is, you know, the flight management system, this is the speed, this is the flight level change, vertical speed, VNAV, altitude selector, course, your damper, autopilot on or off, heading selector, banking, approach, we're going to use this one, the navigation, that's already on, course, flight director. So some of these are repeated on the left or on the right, like for example flight director and flight director, because remember the co-pilot also has. Sometimes the person, let's say if the captain, which is always on the left, if the captain flies the aircraft, then the co-pilot is the one handling the instruments, you know, like for example the altitude, pressure, you know, and all the selection of the autopilot, while the captain is doing, or vice versa, right? So so let's go back to check the you know, and I can have a better view if I put on the Gago, but you already saw your passengers here. By the way, they can close this, right? They can do this. Everything is, you can work, right? So yeah, it cleans by itself. So you can close and open, you know, all of them, right? So the entertainment system is pretty cool too, but I couldn't open it before. I don't know why. But, I'm too far away. Okay. So here you can control the Wi-Fi, the music, and so on, right? So they have Wi-Fi, so some of these people work. And this is the exact replica of the real aircraft. So when you go here, and let me check and make sure I don't overspeed, first of all, because I already reached 42,000 feet. So I need to put the throttle to cruise. It's already on cruise. Okay, I need to stabilize the speed, because if you go on overspeed, which means you're going to go into this area, the aircraft can have a structural damage and break in the air, right? So, but yeah. So I was saying. So all these things they do it quite nice because they, you know, they want to replicate the aircraft. So here you have Coke and food. This is, as I said, this is the exact replica. So if you look at one of those videos, you type Phenom 300, there are some videos where you can see the real aircraft is exactly the same. So these are magazines, glasses, cups, I believe, cups. You can hear the noise as well. Plates, this is for more cups. This is ice, and you get some water here, and or coffee. Maybe that's coffee, it's not water. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how much it costs to fly on these aircraft. I mean, I did fly on a private jet when I had to go and visit Dow Chemical, my customer. They had their own private jet, but it was a big aircraft. I mean, there were like maybe 50 people in there. It's not. This is obviously is the luxury one. Now, if I put on the, let's see, lots of tabs. Can I get a meal already? It looks the risk. And yes, the view, please, the risk. It is risk. So outside view. So you can see, right? Pitot sensor here and here for the speed, and here as well for, one it must be the altitude. You have also the lights, and by the way, when you know aircraft, they have a red light and a green light, right? And the reason why they have a red light on the left and green light on the right is because when you look up in the sky, you see an aircraft. Well, actually, it's dark. You don't see the aircraft, but you see red and green. You know in which direction that aircraft is going, right? So obviously, if you know the red is on the left and the green is on the right, you know it's going in a certain direction. That's how they have it, right? So, and of course they have all the other lights underneath. They have the landing one and also the taxi. And these are other sensors as well. This one has, because of being a jet, it has of course a retractable gear. Some slower aircraft don't have retractable gear. Do a roll barrel? No, I can't do that because we're gonna crash. I have passengers on it. So yeah, the jet in this one, by the way, you can see moving, right? So it's pretty cool. These are all the like satellite receivers and so on. So these are ailerons. These are the ailerons. Let me see if I can show. These go up and down to turn left and right. These are the speed brakes. They help slowing the aircraft when you reach the destination, right? This is the rudder. This is the rudder, which is very important. This is the trim, which and also you have trims here as well to basically set the aircraft in a certain position, or you don't have to keep on controlling anymore. And the other thing is when I was living in South Africa, there was a 747 and crashed against the mountain. Sorry, yes, that's right. It was a Japan airline in South Africa that crashed against the mountain. What happened? The crash happened in Japan. I was living in South Africa. The crash happened in Japan. It was a flight from Tokyo to Osaka, and the reason why it crashed because it lost this part. It lost the tail, and by losing the tail, you can't control the direction of the aircraft anymore, right? So at this point, this one helps controlling the direction. Yeah, this one controls the roll, but this one controls the direction. So what happened? Lost the direction, and for 30 minutes the pilots tried to control the aircraft. They couldn't, and passengers have been writing goodbye messages to their loved one, and eventually the aircraft crashed. That aircraft came from Los Angeles. There was already a problem before. They didn't see it, and the problem materialized during the flight from Tokyo to Osaka. And everybody died. There were 500 people on board. It was a lot of people. So you can see the passengers inside. So let's see where we are with the route. So the speed is stable now, 224 knots. We had 2 nav. So what I can do now, I can put on the VR if you want, and you have a different view with the VR. that a yes or no? And the interesting thing with the VR is when you put it on, the brain thinks you are there, right? So you have the same feeling. And I prefer using the VR for landing because you have an immediate view of what you're looking for, right? Otherwise, it just takes too long to use mouses and so on. So okay with the VR. So let me start. I'm going to use the virtual desktop. So I'm going to start another program. And I'm going to start now the Questa Meta Quest 3. And I'm going to connect it. You will see a change of view soon. So right now, no, but it's going to change. Now is firing up. Okay, so right now you're still seeing the same view. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the virtual desktop. You will see a change probably. Yes. No, probably the same. Okay. So now I'm gonna change to VR. Okay, so now I need to, so you can see the rectangle in front of me gives me the frame rate, the latency, that's important, the speed, internet speed, so I'm going to make that disappear. And now I have to set my position correctly. Right, so. Okay, let me just set correctly here. Okay, alright, so let me see, what do you see? Okay, alright, so you can see now I can move back and you have a better view. And by the way, I can't read your messages, so you can laugh among each other, but you can see now you have a more broader view of the cockpit. Right, all the passengers are pissed. I don't know why. Maybe it was at the toilet was open. Maybe they're hungry or something. But something is happening. Let me give them information about the flight. The temperature is fine. I'm gonna set the temperature a little higher, 20 degrees, maybe a couple of degrees. So let me turn this on. Maybe it looks better. Okay. Alright, so now you have a better view of the cockpit. I'm gonna turn, so I don't know if you're gonna hear me, but you can see the passengers. And if you see it from the goggles, you'll be impressed how amazing this is, the view. So I'm going to look at it from the outside, and now I'm sitting in the sky looking at the aircraft because this is what I see, right? So I'm turning my head down and I see, you know, the sea down there. I have a few basic instruments that you can see floating in the sky, so I can see what's going on. You can see the aircraft emanating some gas in the back, but I can turn around and I can see around me. So it's an amazing feeling because you're really sitting up, you know, like at 42,000 feet. And it's not scary because you're really high up, and you know that you're sitting on your chair. But when you look, it really feels like you are you know, up in the air. So can move around and see the exhaust behind. The sound changes depending on the position. Now, when I go inside, so because I'm using the VR, I actually have to go closer to the instruments, or I can sit closer, right? So I can do this. But then if I have to read something very small like a map, I physically have to move closer to read, you know, the information. So, for example, this is a very long flight. We may have to stop at one point. I think you guys want to go to bed, but yeah, I mean, we have a TUNAV. Veram is 166 miles. So we go 224. It's gonna take about an hour and a half before we get here. So, let me see here. No, the only thing is actually this one. Yeah. The only thing is that when you wear the VR, you tend to move faster, right? Okay, I need to check this, and I need to do that. Let me check this one. But the people that sees on the screen, they see moving too fast, right? So, but the advantage is if I need to check the throttle, the position of the throttles, for example, all I have to do, I don't have to click somewhere and turn it. I just go like this. That's the throttle, right? So, okay, we have that. Okay, what's the situation over there? Okay, so it's because you're sitting in the cockpit at this point. So, and you know, I wonder what the hell is going on with this. They are all pissed off. 45 is the lowest you can get. I don't know why.
This is the captain's brother.
Yeah, they like to hear information. It's 22 degrees, so the temperature is fine. I don't have the seatbelt on, so they can go. Hopefully I have enough fuel. The cabin is clean, 95% clean. The internet is on. I'm gonna give them more food. I mean, I can pick the first one and see what does he want, right? He wants to go to the toilet, but maybe there is somebody occupying the toilet. This one also wants to go to the toilet. We only have one toilet. This one accepted the coffee and shaking hands. He's nervous. This one is he's beaming. Okay, so maybe they wanted to have some coffee. This one has to go to the toilet. Okay, all right. So anyway, go to the toilet. The toilet is open. I mean, I'm giving coffee. So once this is set up, at this point I just have to monitor the aircraft. This aircraft can be flown with one pilot only or two pilots. Some aircraft need two pilots. This one can fly with one because there is a lot of automation, different than some other aircraft. So right now what I do, I need to make sure the speed is right, that the aircraft system is okay. I mean, you can look at the system from here, right? So not here. is here. So actually, yeah, you can see from here the status of the aircraft. So for example, the batteries 1 and 2, pressure, oxygen. Then we can check the temperature, air conditioning system. This is the electrical system. It's all good. This is the fuel. All good. We have we used so far 932 pounds of fuel, 2,700 pounds left. Ice protection, it's fine. We don't have any issue. The engine setting, okay, this is more the setting we already did before. Landing field elevation, that's what we did before. So those are the systems, system testing and so on, that's already done. Right, so these are all the trims, but I used my my physical instruments to do that, so I don't use it from here, but I could use it from here. Flaps are up. There are 4 positions of flaps. This is the speed brake, which is close. Okay, good. It's very important when we get to the arrival because we're going fast, like 225 knots, and we have to slow down to 130 knots. So everything else is good. So we just monitor at this point the aircraft. We go back to the map. This is traffic. For example, if there is traffic, it will show, and if there is conflict, it will show the conflict, will tell us if it go up or down. This is the weather map, which is here. This is the terrain warning that we don't need now. This is to go directly to a certain point. These are the charts, aircraft system. So let's go back. These are the radios, of course. They are standby radio and active radio. And this is our Spock. This is how we identify ourselves. It's like our license plates in the air, electronic license plate, right? The aircraft has a number out, out, which is identified. This one, N65916. That's the number of the aircraft, so that's our license plate. However, they don't see us, obviously, license plate in the air, so the air traffic control can identify us with this number, right? So, and this is how the engine is performing. So everything is green, everything is good. So I'm going to let me check if there is any text. Oh, you have to take out this. Toilet is closed again. Sorry, man, I was farting. Okay. So let me go back and show you a more wide view of the aircraft. So this is how the cockpit. Now, if you look at one of those real aircraft, you look inside, they are exactly the same. But the interesting thing is it looks very complex, and it's not unless you know it, right? Like anything else, right? You know how to use a computer. Obviously you just have to learn all the function of the various aircraft. But I mean, think about it. If somebody knows how to do their job and is complex, they go through a lot of training. Same thing here. But when it becomes an emergency, that's a different story, right? So now we have to know what to do and so on. So I had the other day, I had to do a missed approach because the ATC was giving me altitude which were crazy, and I knew I was quite close to approach. So he wanted me to go like 10,000 feet, but I said we're too close. The approach is starting now. So eventually I went up like 2 or 3, 4,000 feet, and then was too late to descend, because then suddenly afterwards it says, oh, go down to 2,000 feet and so on. So I found myself, I couldn't land, I was just too high and I was too fast. So I did a missed approach, and I came back, but I couldn't catch the instrumentation and the system anymore. So what I did, I did a visual landing, manual landing, and it was fine. I mean, it was, by the way, it was night. So, but as long as you have the runway in sight and the aircraft is prepared for landing, it's good. So I can. I don't know if you want to wait until the end. The other thing I can show you, and this can be done rather fast, is a flight over Manhattan, but I would need to stop this flight and then change the aircraft, which is quick. And there is a question: what's the difference between missed approach and go around? After the missed approach, you have to go around. So go around is also usually is the terminology used by the control tower when they tell you, let's say the runway is blocked by an aircraft on the runway, and you are on the procedure of landing. They tell you to go around. So at this point, you increase the speed, take basically to go around and do the approach again. I'm lifting the bottom. The little bottom. And this flight is going to be another 1.5 hours. So if you want, I can show you quickly the view over Manhattan using a propeller aircraft. Me? Mute either the microphone or headset. I'm gonna leave I'm gonna go out from virtual reality. And because now I can use the other screen. Okay, mute to either microphone or headset. Okay, that makes sense. So your voice is doubled. Okay, it's possible. Yeah, that mute. And now it should be okay. Now it should be okay. Yeah, because the headset has also its own microphone. Okay, but now I'm out of virtual reality, so it's probably fine. So let me know if you want to see Manhattan on virtual reality on the which is pretty cool actually, and yeah. Or if you want to continue with this flight. Questions, turbulence, farties. Okay, oh, good now. Can you skip to the landing? I actually don't know how to do this. I think I may screw up the whole thing. I can try. Let me see. I need to check. What is that? Control Z, maybe. So I will watch that for 10 more minutes. I don't know if it's Control Z. Let me see. I don't know if it's following the route, eh? This is going fast. That following the route? Wait a minute, it looks like it's working like this. Let's see, I need to see where I am. Or from the other map. Looks like it's going fast, yeah. Okay, looks like, but I may not be on. Okay. Okay. Yes. So I managed to skip. So I'm gonna put my goggles back on. Turn off the microphone. Hopefully I'm not too late with this.
Descend via LIDR 1 Papa to 3000. Expect RNAV Zulu runway 05 approach via pilot transition. E55P9er16.
1 second. Okay, hold on 1 second. I have to go here. Virtual reality. So it looks like I am not on the correct route when I moved, so I may have to adjust my position. Let's see. I need to find out where I am now. Okay, so FMS is still on. Okay, that's good. We check the flight plan. I'm gonna remove the microphone, hopefully. Flight plan 26,000 feet. Okay, let me start decreasing here. Descending. Reduce the throttle. We are descending now. Say descend to 4,000 feet? 4,000 he said. Sorry guys, a little busy here. Need to catch up. 4,000 feet. So so what we did before we slewed, that's slewing, fast, so it lost the route and now it's trying to go back to the route. So we need to put 4,000 feet there. 4,000, okay. Right, so switches, pressurization, landing speed, fasten seat belt. Oh, they're happier, these guys. Right, let me tell them we are descending.
This is the captain. We're now descending towards
Okay, so
Should be another
let's increase the speed of descent. I think we can still manage. We're descending at 3,200 feet per minute. In the meantime, actually I need this one here. Charts. This is the route. LPMA. That's the arrival airport. LPMA. Enter. Arrival charts. What's our arrival? Lidro, LIDR. Okay. No, not this one. Lidro, LIDR. So I'm just looking at the correct chart. That's it. So this is our arrival chart. We'll see the aircraft coming into this chart. In the meantime, I'm looking at the descent here. I don't need the full view anymore. I want to have a better view of the route. Vertical track, okay. So let's use VNav. I'm using VNav for the vertical track. Actually, I'm going down faster than the vertical track itself, so I don't need to do that. Speed is good. You can see the aircraft is coming into the chart here. So this is the arrival. I'm checking, making sure. Okay, so ARNAV arrivals, special procedures, speed maximum 218 knots. Between flight level 245 and 100, which means 24,500 feet and 10,000 feet. Yes, so that's good. And actually the ILS is going to be a 3,000. The ARNAV is going to be a 3,000. So we check around here. I just want to make sure that it's 2,000. Okay, I'm gonna put it at 2,000. Okay. So sorry, I had to catch up on a few things fast because we went so fast. ahead of time that I didn't have the time to prepare. So now it's all good. So let's look at the checklist again. So windshield is fine, pressurization is good, landing speed. It's let's work on the landing speed now. So the landing speed, landing data, the weather at destination, LPMA is 13 knots wind, temperature 24, barometric pressure 3012, runway 05, 8,600 feet, landing configuration, full flaps, ice protection off, landing data. 109 is the landing speed. Let me go back to the weather. 3012. They should give us that. Okay. So we can see from here also 109 is the landing speed. So we're still catching the vertical track. Looks like we are going, let me see, how many miles? 27 nautical miles. And we should be at 13,000 feet in 26 nautical miles. Okay. Okay, here we need to be at 4,000 feet. MA 536 here, and then in 534 at 4,000 feet. So 536. No, 536 is 13,000 feet. 4,000 feet at MA 534, and then we start the approach. Let me change the checklist to approach. External lights, passengers, okay. To the route again. So we do know this. Now, in the meantime, I think what we should do, we should look at the approach procedure. So the approach is LPMA Arnav Z05. BOR. That's visual. We saved going to go through the charts here. Z05, okay. Chart, maybe our visual. That's the Y. Okay, should be this one, the approach. Okay, this is the approach. Okay, so let's take a look. We're gonna be arriving from here, and we're gonna go down and land on this runway. And if we miss the runway, we'll have to continue. The other important information is the RNAV, the instrumentation landing. So the RNAV starts from here. This is where we catch the localizer, which is basically a signal that is sent by the airport, the runway, which helps us to land precisely on the runway, and this can be used also in completely zero visibility situation, right? This is how aircraft manage to land even without in blindness, right? So once we are here, then the aircraft will bring us down exactly to this point of the runway. But at a certain point here, we will disconnect the autopilot and we'll do the manual landing. So we are at 3.8 nautical miles at MA 536. So this one is requiring 13,400. We are at 13,200. So we are pretty good. So right now, let's bring this one back. Then we will see the aircraft appearing here. Okay. Let me just move the control to the right side. I hate with the mouse because it's not like with a hand. For example, I'm trying to get the mouse to go right. It doesn't go right. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Okay. Sometimes it's also because I need more powerful CPU. GPU is fine. It's the CPU. So we should be at 4,000 feet in 9. So I would say we should increase. Should increase more. And let's put it on 4,000. See the vertical track, it's a little slow, so although we do have some time, so still decreasing. So at this point we need to turn on the lights. This one we will have to change. Calling the approach. Should be at 4,000 feet by MA 534. And then the next has to be 3,000 feet, so I would say let's already bring it down to 3,000. Let's increase the speed of descent. It's a challenging, let's tell that seat belts. I would put on the seat belts at this point. I need their altitude of this one. Oh, okay. Alright, so we are good. $3,000. We need to be at 2,000 next. I see the localizer already showing up. Need to go 2,000 next. Shoot. See, the aircraft is already showing up here. Need to start. You can see the island over there. Can you see? See the island? See. That's the island. Okay. Now we need to start slowing down the aircraft. Let's slow down the aircraft. Let's see if the speed brakes are working. Yes, they were not working. Yes, they're working. Yeah. Gonna add the approach here. Approach. Okay. No, that's fine. I'm gonna put the flaps on. First level flaps. Lights are on. Speed brakes are down. Sorry guys, no external light passengers. Inform them for landing. Speed is 150. Let's call in the approach.
Madeira approach. E55P November 65916 is passing 2000 climbing 3000.
No, we're gonna stay at 2000.
E55P November 65916. Madeira approach. QNH 1020. Radar contact. Continue to MA.
So we're gonna stay at 2000.
E55P 916.
You see,
Keep speed. Not above 19 or 5 knots.
yeah, we are fine with the speed. You can
Keep
see,
speed not above 19 or 5 knots.
you can see the island over there. That's the airport. So to slow down the aircraft again, we're gonna put the landing gear down. Let me slow down here.
E55P 916.
Landing gear
Contact
down.
Madeira Tower on 124.66 when inbound.
Flaps
Tower on
level 2.
124.66. E55P 916. Madeira Tower, E55P November 65916, 6 miles southeast. Inbound RNAV Zulu runway 05 approach.
E55P November 65916.
QNH is
Madeira Tower,
1020.
QNH 1020. Cleared RNAV Zulu runway 05 approach.
1020. I cannot.
Cleared RNAV Zulu runway 05 approach. E55P 916.
PDF settings, units, HPA 1020. Really? Okay. 1020. Vertical track is set. Yeah, I know. But Don't have the time to set the other two at this point. Let's see. Flaps 4. .109 is the turning. Okay, slow down. We start descending. It caught the RNAV, so
E55P.
Clear to land runway 05. E55P 916.
passengers are good. We already told them about the landing. Let's give them a little bit more information.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Reuse. You have to watch the speed and the altitude. Yeah, usually when we land, we have a lot of warnings, terrain and this and that. So. All good so far. Now we have to make sure that we stop before the end of the runway. If we do a proper landing, it should be fine. It's just that it's a very strange approach, this one. I don't see the initial part of the runway. Traffic? Where?
8 o'clock. High. 1 mile.
Your speed. Oh, I see. You see, at the beginning of the runway, you see those 4 lights, 2 white and 2 red on the left and on the right. If they are 2 and 2, that means our altitude is correct.
500.
If they are all white, for example, we are too high, or red, we are too low. So now we're a little too low.
400.
Our speed is good.
Trim.
Our speed is good.
Trim.
There is an aircraft
300.
in the middle of slow down. They clear to land, right? So
200.
okay. Autopilot off.
Autopilot. Stall. Stall.
We landed. Okay, let's see if there is any other exit or if I have to turn back. So flaps up.
E55P 916. Exit runway when able.
Is there another way or I have to come back? Where is the chart? Do I have to come back? There's no other way? The guy took off with me and okay, there is the exit.
916. Exit runway when able.
Okay, there we go.
E55P916. Contact ground on 124.66.
124.66 for E55P916. Madeira ground, E55P November 65916. Request taxi to the gate.
E55P November 65916. Taxi to gate Alpha 16 using taxiway Bravo Alpha.
Taxiing to gate Alpha 16 using taxiway Bravo Alpha. E55P916.
Which one? Gate A16? Jesus. A16. Okay, but I have to find out where is the overview. Not yet. Not this one. Where is the parking stands? Airport information, not this one. Okay, that's it. Alright, so gate 16, eh? Let's take the other one. Where was the gate information? Parking stands. Okay. Oh, it's one of the first ones. So okay, we know where to go. Gate 16. Yeah. There it is. The guy is waiting. Gate 16. Okay, here we go. So parking brake on, engine off, engine off. Now let's open the doors. Put the red carpet, security cones, cargo doors, this one, and we're gonna call for the car to pick the passengers up. In the meantime, we turn off whatever we need to turn off. From this one, this one, this one, we need to turn off that. This one is off. Where is the car? The heating off. For the ice, pumps off. Okay, off. off. Entertainment system is off. Where is it? Car will be here in okay. Car didn't arrive, so okay. Unload real time. Let's see how long it takes. Looks like there is no car here, so I'm gonna instant unload. Instant. Okay, so no passengers. They're all gone. I'm gonna close the cargo door. Cabin. Back cargo door. Remove red carpet. Remove security cone. Pit out covers. Engine covers. Chocks. Landing pin and chocks. Then batteries. Aircraft is off. Let's walk outside the aircraft. And at this point, we go to say hi to the guy. Thank you. That's our aircraft. And this is Madeira, Aussie. Looks like a nice place. So I'm gonna remove the virtual reality goggles so I can see what's going on. And let me turn it off. Okay, let me turn off the goggles. How did you like the landing? Let's see, there are some comments here. Oh, the landing was good, huh? What do you mean shit? Pilot? Yeah, the fuel situation. No, the fuel was fine. We had enough fuel. So yeah, so it's good. I mean, it's very satisfying to land. This one was it was very strange because we basically land after a curve, and our aircraft was going a little faster. I mean, maybe 5 knots faster, but no, they didn't die. Actually, it was a good landing. It was good. It was actually short too. Short. Usually, when you land, you don't just so you get close to the runway, and then you basically float over the runway slowly, and you didn't hear any bump and so on anymore, and then suddenly you hear like your wheel. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, but I mean, I can tell you, without the RNAV would have been challenging because of the way this airport is positioned. It's definitely challenging because, as Ozzy mentioned to me, you basically go close to the mountain and then you turn and you have to align to the runway. Yeah, so okay. Then I actually have I can even show you one thing that I learned to do is I can even show myself. You should be. Do you see myself? Yeah, you should be able to see it. Yeah, I see it. Did I? Or maybe it's coming with a delay. Past my bedtime. Okay, guys. I think we can stop here. It's 11:33. Not so bad. Not so bad because we skipped. So good night, everybody. Ciao, ciao. Good night. How come I'm not showing my face? Can you see my face? No? No. I wonder why. Okay. Bye bye. Bye everyone. Good night.